How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little side-by-side review action today in the form of Rushing Duck Brewings. It's their Divided by Zero. Their Divided by Zero series is basically the same beer over and over with different hops. A lot of breweries are doing much of the same thing, but they rarely get released together. They usually do kind of one batch at a time, but they actually did two batches at the same time, released them, and I said, science. It's all for science. So, yeah, we have, on the left, we have a kind of spicier version, Eldarado-based. Eldarado, there's 3 hops in this one, I believe. Eldarado, Idaho 7, I forget the other one. You can look it up online. And a bit more of a sweeter, juicier version of hops over here. You have Galaxy, you have Mutika, and kind of your Southern Hemisphere style stuff. So you got a little bit of the spicy, a little bit of the more fruity, but it's interesting always to kind of dive into these beers and kind of see with the base of the beer, the malt base and whatnot being the same. It's always fun to kind of dive in, see what the changes are all about. So, yeah. As far as what they say on the cans, they say everything exactly the same. There's actually no differentiation on the cans at all, I don't believe. I didn't think I read it briefly. The only way to know the difference is actually stamped on the bottom. So it has a bunch of stuff. It's basically one of the best cans in the history of beer. It's the blue screen to death. Any Windows user would know this screen all too well. And it basically goes through a bunch of their information about the beer in a kind of nerdy kind of way. 5.5 hops per barrel, you know what I mean? And they call it an Imperial Session Pale Black India Pale Ale. Kind of a little joke there. But I'm not going to read the whole thing. 6.8% alcohol by volume. I've reviewed it before. If you want to read the whole thing, go back and watch that one. And that'd be that. But like I said, label-wise, it's one of my favorite of all time. But like I said, on the bottom, we have this one, which was released on 4/3. This is 4/15. So, you know, not even 2 weeks old. And this is the Southern Hemisphere. Over here, we have the Eldarado, which was released the same exact day. So, let's get this little showdown started. See if I can do a decent little dual pour here. I've done these well in the past. I've done these kind of craptastically in the past. So, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's give this sucker science. It's my favorite kind of science right here. Okay, boom, done and done. Throw that one there, throw that one there. Good to go. Anyway, pretty similar looking beers, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, I expected a little bit different kind of look to them because I actually did have these at the brewery, so I went there today. So full disclosure, I did taste them. But the one looked a little bit creamy, a little bit murkier. This one has a slightly darker head to it. I don't know if that's a light thing. Let me kind of swap these out and see if it is. No, this one actually does have a little bit slightly darker head to it. But other than that, I mean, you know, this has like a slightly kind of creamier look to it. Kind of white in the beer itself, whereas this one's more of a vibrant kind of orange. So they look pretty much the same so far. So, okay. Let's get a nose on it. Let's start over here. We'll start with the left. My left. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm getting canned by concentrate kind of OJ from this one. Now, it's not just Eldarado, but that is your base kind of Eldarado. Is usually not nearly as fruity for me. It tends to come off a little bit spicier. But this one's really not doing that. It's giving me a little bit of that kind of canned orange juice thing going on. Sweet malts. A little bit of bitters. And that's pretty much it. Let's see what this Southern Hemisphere jammer is all about. Ooh, way more raw, ranky kind of onion coming through, like a very kind of danky onioniness. That is, to me, Mutika to a T. I don't have a ton of experience when it comes to home brewing, but one of the hops that I was probably one of the brews that I guess I had my fingers in the most was one where we kind of finagled with a bit of Mutika, and that's exactly what I got off of that hop, is that kind of ranky kind of onioniness. There's a bit of kind of like a tropical fruitiness kind of behind that, but that ranky onioniness kind of beats that down and defeats that a bit. But yeah, vibrant. So yeah, over here, orange juice. Over here, Ranky onion. Both are pretty delicious if you don't ask. If you ask me, don't ask me. Yeah, definitely don't ask me anything, because what the fuck do I know? Anyway, they both smell fantastic. The head on this one is kind of clinging along a little bit longer than this one. Does that make any sense, or does it actually matter to anybody? I don't know, but we're going to dive in. Eldarado time. Okay. That OJ thing I was getting is still there, but I'm definitely getting kind of like a spicy, earthy kind of hop from it too. It's almost like this pepper sprinkled on tea kind of thing I'm getting. But that OJ is there. It's definitely like from concentrate kind of OJ. And I say that with all the love in the world too. When my mom used to make OJ, yes, I'm very old, so back in the early 80s when, we had that big tube of OJ and it just kind of out into a thing and you add hot water to it or cold water or whatever. Your mom used to kind of let you kind of catch the edges. And I've talked about this before, kind of scrape the edges of it with a spoon and eat it. That's the kind of OJ I'm getting from this. It's not a negative candied kind of artificial OJ. It's more from concentrate OJ. So it's a little bit more of like a reduced kind of orange juiciness that's very vibrant. Nice mouthfeel. Really nice mouthfeel, actually. Nice and creamy. That's pretty much it. Got that nice spicy bitterness bouncing off that OJ sweetness. Malt bill propped up. Sweet enough to kind of balance it, but at the same time not overly sweet. Pretty good stuff. As always. Love me some divided by zero. Let's jump into some of the Southern Hemisphere Jammer. Not nearly. I thought it was going to have this nice kind of fruity pop to it in the back, but it's just not getting there for me. That oniony kind of dankness is kind of still keeping that in check for me. Nice mouthfeel, about the same as the Eldarado base. There's a little bit of spiciness to it, but that could be just residuals from this one kind of clinging on my tongue there. But it's predominantly that kind of onioniness that I thought was going to be a little bit bigger based off of the nose. I thought I was going to get in that kind of single cutty territory, but it's not quite there. And with a little bit of what I want to say is kind of a generic kind of tropical fruitiness behind it, but it's just not getting through that ranky onioniness, that ranky danky kind of onion that I'm a big fan of typically, but I want that little bit more sweetness, I guess you would say. It seems not as sweet as this one. A little bit, and neither of them are super sweet to begin with, but I want a little bit more sweetness, kind of balance that kind of onioniness, and it just stops short of that. But both really fun beers, especially if you come at it from the perspective of why am I doing this? Because it's fun to kind of try these beers and see how they play off each other when the bases are pretty much identical. Sure, there's going to be batch variants. We all know that. But actually have these two side by side and to see such a drastic difference in beers flavor-wise, it's pretty fucking cool. The mouthfeels are about the same. This one seems a little bit sweeter to me, but it could be the way the hops are playing on it. But yeah, just that stark difference for this one over here being a bit more spicy with that OJ all the way, whereas this one has a kind of a tropical fruit thing going on, but it's pretty much overpowered by that kind of onioniness. It's just a fun little fucking experiment, and it's all about science. It's all about shoulda, not coulda. Or is it the opposite way? Shoulda, coulda, not shoulda. Anyway, stealing people's jokes is not my forte. Anyway, so yeah, pretty good stuff. So let's talk about it. Are these some of the better pale ales? Yeah, IPAs that I've had as of late. The best? No. There's ones I like better. Most interesting? Yeah, especially doing it side by side. It just kind of works for me. I like it. I love Rushing Duck. It's one of my favorite breweries, not just because I can go there, but just because I love what they do, and they run the gamut of styles across the board. So in that, yes, it's one of the more interesting ones I've had. Value and availability, $14 a 4-pack. Market value, availability, That's the thing about Russian Duck. I almost don't want to review any of their beers anymore because I think they're absolutely fantastic, top-notch brewery. You never have to worry about getting cans there. You just go and pick them up. And they're always there. And no one ever buys them out. No one waits in line. And their barrel-aged stuff is fucking bonkers, and the same thing with that stuff. So, if I scream at my top of my lungs long enough, people are going to start buying this stuff. I'm not going to be able to get it as easy. So I should just stop doing this. But no, seriously. You pretty much can get them whenever you go there, which to me is absolutely fucking crazy talk because it's by far and away one of my favorite breweries. And just leave it with this. If you like what we like this. If you like fun. Because what I would suggest is picking up 2 of these or, 4-pack each and doing what I'm doing right now. Sit there, try them side by side, see the difference in what hops can do with beer. Just have fun with it. Obviously this one, if you like a little bit of spiciness, OJ, sweeterness, not overly sweet, the way some New England IPAs can get, you'd like this. If you want a bit more of that kind of single cutty, ranky onion kind of thing, you go on this side. So, it's a fun thing to do, a fun experiment. So if you like good beer and supporting local breweries that definitely have fun doing what they do, then it's definitely worth picking up. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, right stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, and all 4 of those places if you want to check us out anywhere else. And there you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a side-by-side of 2 very similar beers that are quite different. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.